Hi, my name is Suki, and today I will be doing a Pecha on freshwater and saltwater environments. If you don't already know, a Pecha is a presentation using 20 slides featuring each slide for 20 seconds, a total of 6 minutes and 40 seconds. In this Pecha, I will be talking about differences between freshwater and saltwater environments. I will identify an organism that lives in each. I will tell you about my environmental footprint, and I will end off with my promise to these environments. Starting off with the differences between freshwater and saltwater environments. One thing that is different is that saltwater is more than 200 times saltier. Why is that? In tropical weather, saltwater tends to have a higher rate of evaporation because when the water turns into vapor in the air, it leaves salt behind. Also, the salt rates up by the North and South poles are high because when water turns into ice, it too leaves salt behind. Another thing that is different between saltwater and freshwater is the density of saltwater is greater than freshwater. As you can see, here's the density of saltwater and here's the density of freshwater. Why is saltwater denser? Because there's more salt in saltwater, which makes it heavier. Quick facts on freshwater water. 79% of the world is covered with saltwater, which leaves only 3% to be freshwater. And the freezing point of freshwater is 0 degrees Celsius, and the freezing point of saltwater is minus 1.9 degrees Celsius. The freshwater organism that I chose to do research on is the North American river otter. Quick facts about this animal. They're about 3 to 4 feet long. They can live up to 15 years in the wild, and river otters are very playful and like to wrestle and chase. You can find this animal in Canada or USA. The prey of a river otter. River otters are carnivores. In their everyday diet, they eat crustaceans, amphibians, reptiles, and birds and insects, but they mostly eat fish. How do they catch their prey? River otters use their keen sense of touch to find their prey underwater. They also use their whiskers on their faces to detect their moving prey. Threats to the river otter. On land, baby river otters have to be careful of being attacked by a wolf or a fox and raptors, and us humans still hunt them for their fur. And in water, they have to be careful about alligators, killer whales, and crocodiles. Problems in the freshwater for river otters. River otters could be harmed because of water pollution, oil spills, acid drainage from coal mines, etc. The river otters are on the top of the food chain, which means they will suffer the most because by the time the otters go to eat their prey, fish, etc., the chemicals are concentrated and can kill the otter. The saltwater organism I did research on is the African penguin, also known as the jackass penguin or black-footed penguin. Quick facts, can weigh between 2 and 5 kg, can grow up to 68 to 70 centimeters. They only let people come as close to them as 3 feet, and you can find this penguin on the southwestern coast of Africa. The prey of the African penguin. They feed on small fishes, like sardines and anchovies, and they also eat squid. How do they catch their prey? They use the sharp edges of their beak, and they put their prey in their mouth, which is lined with stiff spikes that point backwards, which doesn't let their prey escape. Threats to the African penguin on land. They have to be careful of seagulls and mongoose and cats that prey on them when they're nesting, and they also prey on their offspring. Threats to the African penguin in water. Sharks and fur seals hunt them in the water. Water problems that affect the African penguin. Oil pollution from oil tankers. Oil tankers may illegally clean out their tanks near the Cape. This will affect the African penguin because oil will kill the penguin quickly after they are covered in it or when they swallow it. Other threats that we bring them. Another problem that we have caused them is stealing their eggs for human consumption and reducing their food supply by commercial fishing. My environmental footprint. According to a footprint calculator, if everyone lived like me in the world, we would need 3.8 Earths, a total of 6.9 hectares. And if everyone drank 4 liters of milk like my family every week, then you could find 48,952 tons of containers in Washington State. Also, manufacturing that many containers releases 101,331 metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions. My environmental footprint, part 2. My current consumption requires an area of productive land equivalent to 8.4 Canadian football fields. Every day I use electricity for 9 hours, which means I have to pay $15.03 every year. And I use 10.2 liters of gas every morning to get to school when driven. My promise to saltwater and freshwater environments. I promise to improve on my water conservation by reducing the time period of my showers and turning the water off while I brush my teeth. I also promise to start walking to and from places as much as I can. And lastly, I promise to support and eat organic food because they haven't put any fertilizer or pesticides on their crops, which doesn't contaminate the water when runoffs happen. Thank you for watching my Pecha. References.